welcome to the BellisarioSonic YouTube channel. Doing a live stream tonight to kind of give you guys an update on what's going on the channel, talk about some things that you should stay tuned for, and talk about some records I picked up this over the past month. I picked up a lot of used records I'm going to share with you guys, all the way from $3 to about $15 records. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to do that tonight, and I want to, let's see here, making sure that this is actually going up live. It says it is live recording. So it's the first time I've tried doing this through Riverside. So I'm trying to stream through Riverside and then see how that works and see how it will work with putting up a stream which will people can join in and have can join in on the channel, and I can have guests and things to talk with. So that's kind of what I'm looking at doing here. So trying to pull it up on actual YouTube so I can see it, and I can see it on YouTube, so that's a good thing. All right. So thanks for joining me. I don't know how many people actually show up. It's just kind of at the last minute. So if you don't see it live, you'll see it obviously on the channel. Well, I do want to go over a couple of reviews that I did this past week that, again, are fantastic records that are going to get overlooked. This Mamiko Watanabe album here is absolutely fantastic. And so I don't want this to go unnoticed. This is, if you like jazz, she is an amazing piano player. Take it out of the sleeve here so everybody can see. I did a full review on this, dropped the needle on it, and very impressive sounding record. This is really an audiophile sounding album. So I don't want this to go unnoticed. Absolutely fantastic. Go back and check out the full review on this particular record. Also, this past week, I did a review of the Bria Skonberg album, which is wonderful. Wonderful vocals on this record, great trumpet playing, New Orleans bluesy feel to it. Absolutely fantastic record. And again, this is one that people are going to miss. Everybody's so focused on a lot of the reissues and things, and a lot of these new recordings don't get the attention that they deserve. So I definitely want to make sure people get a chance to hear these. So check out this full review on the Bria Skonberg, what it means, on the Cellar Music label. And if you missed the interview that I did with Corey Weeds about a month back, go check that out. Very interesting interview there for those of you that are interested in what it takes for a jazz label to run. So coming up this Sunday at 4 o'clock, I'm very excited to be putting out the interview that I had with the legendary drummer, composer, producer, mixing engineer Simon Phillips, of course, famous for playing with just tons of bands, Toto, The Who, but I really like his modern records, such as this Protocol 5, which is absolutely fantastic. These sound like they're analog recordings, and they sounded so good. This album and this Darwin album here sounded so fantastic that I wanted to, I reached out to him and I was just like, how do you get these digital recordings to sound so analog? And so that's what the interview's about on Sunday. Be sure to tune in for that. It's an hour-long conversation with Simon Phillips. A lot of interesting things there that you guys that are interested in vinyl records are going to want to hear. Coming up next Sunday, I have an interview with Miguel Atwood Ferguson. Just a wonderful conversation with him. And if you guys missed the review of this 4-record set, which is one album, a first part of 3. So this is about 3.5 hours worth of music on this record. I did a full review. It was like an hour and a half long video because I played something from all 4 records. And it's a fantastic listen. It's a journey. You have to sit down and pay attention to what's going on. It's a mixture of kind of classical, jazz. There's some electronic things going on. It's a very, very cool record. Again, 4 records, 3.5 hours worth of music. It's a lot to take in. They made it very affordable. You can get this for like around $50. And it's only the first of 3 that will be coming. So when he's finished, there will be a total of 12 records in this actual set. 4 records per volume, and there'll be 3 volumes. So it's going to be over 10 hours worth of music once Miguel is done. And he's been on over 600 recordings. He's done soundtracks and commercials and all kinds of things. He's played on Jay Leno's show, and I mean, a really nice guy. So stay tuned. That'll be coming up, not this coming Sunday, but the next Sunday. I'm trying to drop all of my interviews on Sundays at 4 o'clock. So I'm trying to keep that consistent. So this week will be Simon Phillips. That will be this coming Sunday. The following Sunday will be Miguel Atwood Ferguson. And I've got a couple more people that I'm going to try to keep these going so that every Sunday there'll be a new interview. So definitely tune in for this. This was a really cool conversation with him. And again, a really cool album. Another one of these albums that's going to get overlooked. And I hate that because this is really cool music. A really cool album. I mean, who does a 4-record album? It took him about 12 or 13, 14 years to put this together in between all of his other projects. He's a really busy guy. So that's just a little recap of some of the things, a preview of what's going on, some of the reviews that I've done over the week. And then I wanted to share with you guys some really cool records that I found used at a couple places here. Just some used records, different genres, like this one here. This right here was a Bruce Cockburn record in the $3 bin. It's like brand new, was like never played. And to be honest, I'd never heard this record before. So I listened to this the other day, and it's actually a pretty cool sounding record, kind of 80s sounding, singer-songwriter type thing, but I thought it was pretty cool for $3. You know, I'll still pick up things that I've never heard before, and this is one of those. So what I'll do is I'll just drop them behind here until I get back around to the front. This right here I'd never seen before in the $3 bin, and this is called Red 7. If you like Peter Gabriel, this is actually a pretty cool record. I'd never heard it before. You've got Gene Stashuk on guitars and lead vocals. Michael Brecker is on keyboards and background vocals, and Paul Ravelli is on drums and background vocals. Was produced by Mike Rutherford. It sounds like a Peter Gabriel record. It's actually pretty good. So it's one of those records that you can find in the bargain bins for a few bucks. It's well worth picking up. I thought it was a pretty good listen. In the same bargain bin for $3, I found this Steps Ahead Modern Times, which sounds a little bit dated. It's definitely 80s type sound, but you've got some pretty interesting players on here. So you've got like Warren Bernhardt on keyboards. Michael Brecker is also on this. He's playing tenor and soprano saxophone. Eddie Gomez, you guys probably know him, played with Bill Evans on bass. And Mike Mineri on vibes. So kind of a cool record. Again, another $3 thing I found in the bargain bin, and it was like brand new. I mean, really good shape. So I do like to spring for those sometimes and just pick up something new, something I've never heard. I picked up a Steve Morse in the $5 bin, and this was also like brand new. I'm a big Steve Morse fan, and of course, if you like guitar, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, even though his style is much different than them, but you kind of get the idea. It's kind of a guitar-driven record, so pretty cool album there. I picked up some jazz things. I was up in Decatur, Alabama last night for the Steel Woods concert. If you guys missed the video I did earlier this evening, I reviewed one of their records. Great Southern rock band. If you like Leonard Skinner, Allman Brothers, kind of Hank Williams rolled in. Really good songwriters on their final tour. Anyways, I was up there and I went up to Athens, Alabama, which is just a little north. There's a record store up there, and I was able to pick up some used records, and that's where I found these. Pretty good Frank Sinatra. This right here was, I found this, I think this was like about $8. It's in pretty good shape. And it's on the Rainbow label. So I found that pretty cool. I needed that one. It's kind of one of the, this here was one of the early concept records. A lot of people talk about, rock music being the inventors or creators of concept records. Well, you had this album, to all the Sinatra records on the Capitol label, beginning with this one, were pretty much concept records. And then, of course, if you remember the George Russell album, New York, New York, that was done in 1959, that's really a complete concept record with spoken word and all kinds of things going on that has that New York theme to it. But I find it interesting that a lot of people don't give any credit to the jazz genre as really being the first to kind of come up with concept records. I found this Kid Ory. I don't listen to a ton of New Orleans jazz, but I do like it. It's just I don't listen to it that much of it, but I do love Kid Ory, and I did find this one on that Good Time Jazz label, and this was like $7 or $8, and it's in pretty good shape. So I went ahead and picked this up to add to the collection. So I found a version of a really clean copy of the Survivor Suite Keith Jarrett. And this one was like brand new. I took it out of the label, out of the sleeve, and looked at it, and it had like those little after it sat in the original sleeve, it kind of had a little marks on the record. So I had to really clean it well, even though it really looks like it's never been played. And it's on the ECM label, but it's in really good shape, and I actually have not, I just cleaned this off today and haven't listened to it yet. So this is on my list to listen to. I'm a big Keith Jarrett fan. The dude's just amazing piano player. And so I was happy to find that. This was like $10, so it was a little more than some of the others. But, it's in such good shape that I couldn't pass it up. So yeah, that was a good find. And then I found at the same place the Zoot Sims, which was I think $10 he charged me for. This looks like it's never been played. It's like brand new on the Pablo label, and the whole acoustic sounds putting out the Pablo thing is nice that they're putting those out. But I always found that you could find the Pablo albums in pretty good shape for around $10 or $15. So I've got quite a few of them that they're actually putting out now with acoustic sound. So for me, it's kind of hasn't made a lot of sense for me to pick those up at this point because there's so many other albums that I want. I can't afford to be paying 30, 40, $50 for records I already have. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but leave your comments and let me know if a lot of you guys I know pick up multiple copies of different records and upgrade and things like that. And if I had the money, I would do that. But anyways, this Zoot Sims is a really nice sounding traditional straight ahead jazz record, and picked that up. Another one I picked up, this was, $7 or $8, Ellington Showcase. And it's in pretty good shape. It's got a little noise on it. It's on the Green Capitol label. But it's in pretty good shape. It's got a little surface noise to it, but I like Duke Ellington. I did not have this one. So, and it's got a lot of the cool tunes on it, like Harlem Air Shaft and Clarinet Melodramas on here, and Blossom and some other stuff. So I digging this. Dave Liebman. This is a live record that that was recorded with Randy Brecker. Um, really cool. If you have to kind of appreciate free jazz to listen to Dave Liebman. It's taken me a while to begin to appreciate some of his stuff, but I'm really getting into it. The more I sit down and focus and listen to what these guys are doing, because they're really bringing improvisation. Liebman, he really brought it to a new level where these guys are kind of composing on the spot and doing a lot of free improvisation, and it's pretty cool. So this is a pretty good album. I think I picked this up for $10, and this is pretty cool because it's got it's a gatefold album, but also it has a book inside of it. So it comes with this book, and then it's got music and stuff in here, and it explains the tunes and about the band, where it was recorded. I think this was recorded at the Vanguard. It's got all the equipment in here, where it was recorded, 1979. It's got music here, and if you guys know anything about Dave Liebman, he's big into jazz education. So, anyways, this is a pretty cool record to pick up, and if you can find it with the original booklet and everything in there, you can get them for around $10 or $15 if you look hard enough. And it comes, on this Artist House label. So, and I also I picked this one up used, but I was also able to find one online that was still sealed, and so I have it in the other room, and it's still sealed, and I'm actually going to open it up and do a review on it. So it'll be a still sealed from 1979, and I'm going to play the record for you guys on upcoming video. So yeah, good, nice free jazz there. I did pick up an original Mac the Knife, Ella in Berlin. It's in pretty good shape. It's a little noise. It's got a little noise here and there, little pop and crackle. It is on the Verve label, and I think it's one. I need to sit down and look and see exactly which one it is. But usually the ones that has the MGM records it starts with here in the label, usually that means it's one of the older pressings. So if you kind of look at that and you see the MGM down here, the newer ones I think have something different at the beginning. So anyways, or it might be, it might be the other way around. I always get confused on these. I know a lot of you guys are experts on the pressings. I'm not so much an expert on the pressings. I always forget. I go to the record store and I look at it and I'm like, which one's the oldest one? Which one's... Anyways, this one here was another one that I picked up at the same place. The jacket's a little messed up. It was like $7 or $8. So, but the record, again, looked like it was never played. And I took it out of the original anti-static sleeve that it came with, because the record was getting like little marks on it, like little blotches you could see. They're all gone now. I cleaned it off really good with my record washer spinner, and I really cleaned it like 3 times, and got all of the marks off of it and everything, and put it in a new sleeve, rice paper sleeve, poly sleeve. And I still haven't played this. I just bought it yesterday, so I still haven't dropped this on, but it looks like it's never been played. It's like brand new. It just looked like it was stored bad or something. Wherever it was stored, it got moisture or something, and it you could see that on the jacket. But this is such a great record that I couldn't pass it up. I was like, well, I think he charged me $10 for it, and I was like, well, you know what? I don't see this one a whole lot available. So I was like, I'll go for 10. I'll spend the $10 on it since the vinyl looks like it's in such good shape, and hopefully I'll be able to clean it off. And it looks like it cleaned up nicely, and it's just got the damage on the cover. So kind of one of those things. I'm more the covers I can deal with a little bit of the covers being a little beat up. As long as the record itself is good, that's kind of where I'm at with that stuff. So, Oscar Peterson, this is one of the earlier ones, but I have not looked up. This was like, I think this was $15, and the record looked like it was in really good shape. And I'm a big Oscar Peterson fan, and I need to look up on Discogs to see what version this is with the orange Verve label. So, anyways, I have to look this up and see what year this is exactly, and it does have the that kind of cheesecake cover. So the jacket's got a little mark on there, but the record itself's in really nice shape. So, and I did play this one, and it had just a little bit of noise every once in a while. Other than that, it played, almost like a new record. So I was happy to find that one. And usually on these older records, I don't like sliding them in the sleeves, so I kind of just put them there in the back. I know a lot of people do that. I did find Charles Lloyd last weekend at the local record store here, Night in Copenhagen. This is a pretty cool album. I'm a big Charles Lloyd fan. And if you guys didn't see the interview that I did with Vladimir Shafronov, I had a 2-hour interview with him. Had never spoken with him before, and I reviewed a couple of his records on the Venus label. He did 2 trio albums that I reviewed. So if you missed those, go back and check those out. They're absolutely fantastic. I bought those when they were on sale on Elusive Disc. And so I did a review of those. He actually came on the channel and left a comment and thanked me for reviewing his records. And anyways, make a long story short, I did an interview with him. He's in Finland, and I talked to him for a couple of hours, and he told me a really cool story about meeting Charles Lloyd when Charles Lloyd went to the Soviet Union to make that record. Anyways, if you didn't see that interview, go check it out. It's a little long, but break it up into a couple of sittings and a lot of interesting information about all the people that he met and all the experiences that he had growing up in the Soviet Union and all the politics involved and the jazz artists that were visiting there, and a lot of really interesting stories. So, but this is a really cool live record, Night in Copenhagen, on the Blue Note label. And I think this is on this label there. So, and this one, I want to say this was like maybe $5 or $6. It wasn't that expensive. Record's in good shape. Sounds good. Another one I picked up last weekend was the Art Farmer. Or I think maybe it was 2 weekends ago already. Art Farmer Jim Hall Big Blues. It's on the CTI label. I think this was like $5. Had to put it in a new sleeve. And it's on that white CTI label. Really cool record. Of course, Jim Hall, one of the best guitar players, jazz guitar players ever. The dude was just a genius. So I was happy to pick that one up. If I can get it back in the sleeve here, back in the... All right. And then I picked up, this was like $5, a 2 album set of the Sonny Chris and Kenny Durham Bop Masters series, Volume 1. And yeah, the Kenny Durham quintet on one record and the Sonny Chris quintet on another record. And this was a Michael Kuskuna release and gatefold. And the records were in pretty good shape of this. And this was like $5. And it's on the Impulse, the green Impulse label. So kind of a twofer, one of those budget twofers that they came out with. And these aren't, you know, people don't consider these to be very collectible, but hey, the music on them they're fantastic. And whenever I can pick up a double like this of 2 great artists, I'll pick them up, especially when they're $5. Okay, I'm getting close to the end here. A couple more Oscar Petersons. Man, I picked up this Oscar Peterson in Russia. I listened to this a few nights ago. This is awesome. If you can find this one, it's a really cool record. It's a double record set. What's really cool about this is you've got him playing solo. The first record, first side, is him playing solo. The first record on the second side is him playing a duo with the bass player, Niels Peterson. And then record 2 is a trio. So you've got Oscar in a great live setting. This was recorded at the Tallinn Festival in Russia in 1974. This was produced by Norman Granz, and a really cool record. And again, it sounds fantastic. It's a live recording, and you have them in 3 different settings. If you can pick this one up, this is a great album. I think this one I got this one on eBay. It was an eBay gamble. I think it was $15. Maybe with shipping, it was like $20 for the record. And it was one of the ones I'm happy that I got, and it's in good shape. It sounds good, and the description was accurate for a change. This album, if you did not see the review that I did of this Affinity record, this is a really cool record. One that I was not familiar with, and one that Vladimir Shafranov during that interview suggested that I listen to. And this, I was blown away, especially by Waltz for Debbie. I bought a stereo copy and a mono copy. The mono copy sounds really good. It's pretty clean. The stereo copy is kind of noisy. So I'm looking for another stereo copy, but the mono copy sounds pretty good. So that's probably what I'm going to stick with for now. Just because, money issues, I can't keep buying duplicate records. Finally, the Ben Webster for the Governor. And this is also a 2-record set, and I think I paid like $9 for this, $10. And there's a lot of great songs on here. I Got It Bad, It Ain't That Good, In a Sentimental Mood, Rockin' in Rhythm, Straight No Chaser. So if you're a Ben Webster fan, pretty cool record. So a lot of good stuff I picked up over the last month, used wise, and I kind of go through spurts where, I buy a lot of new stuff, but sometimes especially when I go out of town and I find a record store like I did yesterday, and I always want to make sure I go in there and check out and see what they have, and then I usually end up buying a lot more used stuff than I would normally buy. So that's about all I have. That's some updates. I do have more interviews that I have scheduled. Again, this coming Sunday, Simon Phillips, who was kind enough to come on the channel for over an hour and discuss how you get digital recordings to sound analog. A really interesting discussion. The guy really knows what he's talking about. He's not only a great drummer, but he's also an engineer. And if you guys missed the reviews that I did on these 2 albums, the Protocol 5, this sounds fantastic. The drums sound amazing on this. And I think you would fool a lot of people if you pulled this record out and said, hey, this is an analog recording. People would probably buy it because it sounds that good. Same thing with the Darwin record. These just sound fantastic. And so Simon came on. I'll be putting it up on Sunday. It should already be up there as a premiere, and it will be on 4 o'clock Sunday, and you'll get to listen in on a conversation and learn from a master for sure on how you get recordings to sound warm, even if they're digital. And then again, the Sunday after next, we've got Miguel Atwood Ferguson that I did a review on this 4-record set. So be sure to tune in for that. So that's all I got. I just wanted to share that with you guys and go over some of the things that went on this past week and give you a kind of a preview of what's coming up. I do want to do a live stream celebrating the 1,500 subscribers and my first $100 because I finally got to the $100 mark. I have not been paid for it yet. I think I get paid sometime in October for the first $100. Now, this has been months of, as you guys know, most of my the videos get demonetized, and but anyways, I'm gonna do a live stream and let you guys pick some records for me to buy with that $100 to review. So I think that should be fun. I'd like to try to get a bunch of people on for that, and I'd like to maybe get some guests to come on the channel as well. So I'm working on that. So maybe in the next couple weeks I'll be able to do that, and I'll put that up and hopefully schedule that so that people can see when that's coming. And that should be kind of fun to do that. So I appreciate you guys joining me, and I will see you coming up tomorrow. I'll be doing another record review. Stay tuned for Sunday for the Simon Phillips, and we will keep moving on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with new videos. So, all right, folks, take care, and we'll talk to you later on.